It's been a long time now, hasn't it? 4, 5 years since the last time I felt the pull of a new Pokemon game. I've started to lose hope. I've started to consider voting with my wallet. Huh? A letter.
Oh my god, it's everything I've ever dreamed! Look, there's even the cinematic camera pan! Oh my god, a dodge roll! Lore, it's beautiful! It's innovative, it's...
It's 7 frames per second. Wake up, everybody, because today is a new day. Yes, that's right, Pokemon is cool again. I can't believe it! As you can tell, Pokemon has begun its 25th anniversary celebration, and with it has come some new game announcements, some updates to live service games, and some good old retrospective. Yep, it's time to once again watch a video on everything that's happened since Pokemon Red. And it's a lot. It's a lot. Today we are going to be reviewing the Pokemon presentation and everything that was announced there. Similar to the Nintendo Direct and Sony State of Play, I will be casting divine judgment upon Pokemon Company's underpaid trailer editors. I spent 60 hours of the past 3 days making these trailers, and I can't wait for gamers to get mad at them and try to dox me. And declaring if it was a fun time or absolute trash, then the Pokemon Company should clearly sell everything back to Nintendo because they know how to make some good trailers. How can you sell a turn-based RPG without introducing the deep political tensions of the elaborate lore structure of this multifaceted world? Don't tell me we should have left out the salt! It is the year 2021, which marks our 25th year of Pokemon. You know, that fad that we outgrew after a few months? Who's laughing now, Dad? Being one of the more major anniversaries, a few decent announcements are probably in order, but with the global pandemic still raging, maybe you would expect this to be a little bit more low-key. But, happy to say that Pokemon came out, Remarade's blazing. It's a gun reference, because Remarade's a gun. See it? And Octillery is like artillery. That's why Remoraid evolves into Octillery, you know. Starting off, we have our usual history of Pokemon montage. They do this every show at this point, and it's getting kind of tiring to get that nostalgia just shoved into your face every single time. Remember Pokemon Dash? Beating this game unlocks carpal tunnel syndrome for the rest of your life. But I actually have to say that the production value on this one was extremely good. I love the stop motion style and the amazing transitions here. It is a beautiful video. Definitely worth the watch. They even went for a lot of obscure games in this, like Hey You Pikachu and Pokemon Channel, but they missed Pokemon Conquest! Even though it took up about 7 minutes of a 30-minute long presentation, I actually really enjoyed this trailer. It brought an energy level that was desperately needed at 7 a.m. in the morning. These shows, man. Pacific time zone is the only one that matters, so could we get a little more like a cozy 5 p.m. for these, please? Oh, there's a Smash Bros. Show next week at 6 a.m. Pain. For our first game trailer of the show, we have an update to new Pokemon Snap, and game looks great. Pokemon looks super good, animations are good, lighting is good. Seems like they really just went for Pokemon Snap, but in 2021. And if that's what you want, I think this is going to be a good time. But if you're expecting something a little bit more than that, probably not going to see much more than what was in this trailer. It's Pokemon Snap. We know what we asked for. I personally am very much looking forward to Snap, and while I'm not expecting 40 hours of content, I'd take around 10 hours with plenty of extra objectives to get the replay value up there. And they have a good post-launch update plan where they bring in more areas to explore, more Pokemon to take pictures of. That would be really good as well. If there's one feature that I would love to see from this, it would be Labo VR support. Imagine riding around taking pictures of Pokemon in VR. That would be amazing. I'm so ready. Next up was the premiere of the Pokemon Gen 4 remakes, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. You know, I wonder now that we're remaking Gen 4, what would they call the Gen 5 remakes? How about Pokemon... Wait, what are you about to say? What about Pokemon Astral Black and Sentry White? Kind of like a space and time motif? That's actually a really well thought out idea. Trying to go back to my thoughts when I first saw this trailer, I actually really liked the art direction. I think the idea of doing a modern version of the classic perspective is interesting, but I can totally understand why fans of Gen 4 would be extremely underwhelmed. After Sword and Shield, I kind of lost interest in what a 3D Game Freak Pokemon game could be, which is ironic considering the next game announcement. So I think going back to that classic design with upgraded visuals and hopefully quality of life changes would really click. For me personally, I don't feel like Gen 4 needs this big grandiose remake in the guise of Sword and Shield, since that would probably be way more effort, and actually having to decide what to radically change and what to leave would just upset more people than it's worth. The last 3 remakes at least had the same style of region design to ground what they could do in a remake. Going off of Sword and Shield, you would think maybe you could do some wild areas around maybe Mount Coronet, a couple routes maybe. But looking at the route design in Sword and Shield, I don't think making Gen 4 locations like that would add much, to be honest. I think changing up the gym challenges and dungeons would be cool, but ultimately I think Gen 4 had this down pretty well. I'm a big fan of Gen 4, Diamond and Pearl. I think the regions and the areas they showed off were really cool. And the graphical design of Gen 4 on the DS was probably, in my opinion, the best Pokemon's ever looked for the platform that it was on. The only thing that I would have liked to see is more of a 3D design area for the underground. I think that would be pretty cool. And that was definitely my favorite part of Gen 4. There definitely is no right or wrong opinion here, but for me, this is totally fine for what is a Gen 4 remake. Well, I'm not sold. I saw a picture of Champion Cynthia on DeviantArt 5 years ago, and if Game Freak are making characters look like this, then they will have literally crushed my hopes and dreams with this remake. I thought you were an earlobe person. Are those not her ears? Well, maybe perhaps this remake will confirm it? Nah, I'd rather live with my ignorance. Well, at least I thought it was an okay reveal. I know this is the first time we've had a look at these remakes, but I can't help but hope we get some sort of new feature that draws people into these games. Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green had the 7 Islands, Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver had the Pokewalker, and Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire had that really cool catching mechanic where you run around and kind of like hunt and find out where Pokemon are and you can get shinies and special abilities and stuff like that. That was really cool. I really hope they bring something like that into Diamond and Pearl, because if it's just the straight up remake, I'm not really sure how much value that holds. Especially when these games had online to begin with. There's not really that much of a jump between the technology that Pokemon games have now and the ones that they had back then. Of course, this is all before considering the next announcement. How is this a real video game? An open world, old Japan action RPG Pokemon game? It's like the idea you joke about, because there's no way Game Freak would ever do something that different. Oh, I want Pokemon but Skyrim, or maybe World of Warcraft. This is actually that! To get this out of the way, this game definitely still looks rough. Frame rate for Pokemon are all over the place, and there are definitely some spots that need texture work. This was a very early look at this game. It's definitely valid to be skeptical about how the final state of the game will turn out, and I'm not trying to dismiss those concerns, but I think that there was a reason why they showed this game early. Normally, you would never show a game looking this rough, but I think that they believed that showing this game was absolutely necessary. With the backlash against Sword and Shield being very by the books and lacking new features, and with the Gen 4 remakes looking to be very polarizing, I think Game Freak wanted to show that they are really trying to shake things up. But they just need a little bit more time with it, which I think is totally understandable. Having the Gen 4 remakes on the books gives something people to be excited for this year, while Legends gives fans something to speculate on, to talk about, to get excited for. And I think that's a great way to show what Pokemon is going to be for the next year or so. Brilliant Diamond's lower budget is easier to swallow when a big, innovative game is coming next year, and the wait for Legends is easier to take when you have something this year. And even if Legends looks rough, they have time to fix it up, and just the idea of it is enough for me to be excited for. But with all that out of the way, now let me just gush about Pokemon Legends for a bit. I think this is the first time since maybe Pokemon Black and White that it feels like they're opening the world of Pokemon up to new ideas, and then tackling questions we've had for years. Except instead of what if there was an environmentalist group trying to free Pokemon, it's like, what if the world was like 200 years ago? That in itself can make us question every aspect of Pokemon that we've thought of as a staple. Even looking at the Pokeball, you can see things are different. In fact, how do Pokeballs work? It's obviously not electricity because it's too far in the past. So how does this older Pokeball work? Is there a Pokemon League? What are gyms? What if they're like clans that are scattered around the region and you have to go beat each clan leader in order to be able to challenge the Sinnoh Lords or something? I don't know. And then they tie that into being like, oh, that was the influence for the modern day Pokemon League. That would be so cool. If it's more of an untamed wild Pokemon region, you'd probably be able to hear wildlife and see stars more easier. Just think, climbing on top of a hill above you, looking out, seeing the entire world in front of you, stars filling up the night sky. Close your eyes, then listen for those crickets chirping in the night. It's beautiful. The thing that I love about Legends is it's the chance to approach core Pokemon ideas in a brand new way. catching, battling, exploring, all these types of things. Even the idea of like, can you get a potion in this game, or do you have to make it yourself? That in itself could be a completely different way to approach Pokemon. Oh god, I don't want to think about the fact that Pokemon probably had free healthcare 200 years ago. It just seems like this is a chance for Pokemon Company to approach the game in a sense of, it doesn't have to be everyone's first game. It's more of a game for fans, and I'm truly excited that this game is coming out, and we get to learn more about this in the future. Even if it doesn't turn out to be amazing, just the fact that they're doing something radically different, to me, is worth the risk. The most important thing to take away here is that Pokemon is exciting, and for me, for the first time since Sun and Moon in 2016. Even if you don't like the direction of the remakes or are concerned with Legends quality, you can see that Gamebreaker is not just standing still. They're bringing back long-time requested cult classics, trying new things with DLC instead of just a third game, and now they're taking a shot at what looks like the most ambitious Pokemon title to date. And if you didn't believe in them yet, just realize that it's just called Pokemon Legends Arceus. It's one game. Game Freak, you have my attention. For this presentation, I know that it's only one franchise, you can't really compare it to a Direct or PlayStation State of Play, but for what a Pokemon presentation can be, this was the best one of all time. It's an A+, baby. And so, Carbon-Based Bander, have I managed to change your mind on Pokemon? Pfft, as if. They showed off a mobile game and a giant grassy PS2 field. Try harder, game flop. You can choose Cyndaquil as a starter. I love Cyndaquil.